my father was an engineer, and my grandfather, he used to really, love to teach, and especially science, like, suppose he's teaching light. So he would open up an old camera and show the lens, and that's how the interest built up. So I always thought that science was so much fun, and, you could actually see things happening. So that's how my interest got into science, and I thought nothing else but science. And in those days, there were not too many options. So if you take up science, it was either you go in engineering or you go in medical. So I chose engineering because my father was like, he was my idol figure
Okay,
that time.
wow, that's great. So, which board have you studied in your 11th and 12th? Because most of us here are 11th and 12th graders, or even below that. Some are ninth
So
grade.
I studied in Bombay. So you all are from the CBSC board, right? Yeah.
Most of us. Some of them are also from like IGCSE or IBDP.
Okay, okay. So I did from my HSC only, the Bombay University, and 11th and 12th I did from RUIA College,
Okay.
which is here in Bombay. And then that time there were no entrance exams, so it was all based on your 12th marks. So based on that, I took engineering in Swami Vivekanand College in Chembur, and I chose a field as instrumentation engineering, which I think many of you won't know. I mean, what it is, even I think Ishita, my daughter, also doesn't know. So I would like just like to just explain. See, you all do you are science students, so you have taken up chemistry. You know the reactions. So for every reaction, I mean, for every material, like cloth, plastic, everything, there are factories. It's made. It's a chemical process, and for the ideal thing to happen, you need ideal conditions. Maybe you need a catalyst, you need ideal pressure, temperature conditions. So to make those things, you need to measure this process conditions, pressure, temperature, and you need to control it, so that at the end you get a product what you desire. So that's how. So instrumentation is a mixture of all these fields. So it's like the measurement and control, and I chose that because it was different that time. Computers was not so much happening. So I my career took in those lines.
Okay, wow. So, in your 11th and 12th, you studied PCM.
Yeah, I studied PCM and I took computers. So then I could remove the biology part.
Okay.
So yeah, so I was not too much interested in biology. So I took this PCM with the computers. But computers for us that time was very basic and Fortran, those kind of things. So
Yeah.
now it's very interesting. I believe you have a lot of, the Java and other things.
Yes, yes, we have Python. It's great now.
Yeah, right. So uh, it's good. And computers is something now, I mean, it's integrated in all the fields. I mean, it is like being literate, you have to know computers in this. It's going towards more and more digitization. So it's a part of life.
Yes, yes. Nowadays, it's very important to have at least the basics in place so that
Yeah,
you have like something, because everywhere you need digitalization, or you need a computer, or you need something to do with it.
correct. So even the elder generation, like my parents, Ishita's grandparents, they need to go to technology. I mean, funny, they need to do net banking and other things. So
Yes, yes,
you can't stay away without that nowadays.
yes. So you knew in your 11th and 12th grade that you will be taking up instrumentation engineering? Like, were you sure that this is the field you want to pursue, or did you figure it out later?
Frankly, I was not very sure, but then it was a good mix of the chemical, the physics, and all the different fields. So, and it was different. There were very few colleges offering this course that time.
Hmm.
It was only this Vivekanand, and in Pune there was College of Engineering Pune. So, so I chose this line, and it's been interesting. It was a very difficult. I came for a co-ed school, and the college was also, we had all 60-50% girls and all. And as I
Okay.
entered my engineering class, we were just in a batch of 70, just 8 girls. So
Wow. Okay. That
that
is,
was a bit shocking
yeah, that's a
initially.
very bad
Yeah,
proportion.
But then I realized, I mean, guys cannot are not, good friends also. So, so but then so that was a first thing, you know, when I joined the class, that was a little different. But it's changing now. Like more and more girls, the number of girls are increasing in these engineering courses.
Yes, that's the point of even this discussion group, that there are already so many less girls, which is why we want to promote more women in science.
Right,
So,
right.
how do you think this industry is changing in the next few years?
So, see, the earlier, you know, during my time, there used to be this distinction, you know, this, I mean, even if the girls do engineering, they should take up teaching, you know, not have this
Mm-hmm.
blunt kind of role. So, mine is also a marketing background, you know. So, initially, when I go and visit customers, you know, I used to be the only female. But now it's changing. I feel more and more women I find, you know, in these technical fields, engineering fields. And finally, I feel now all the fields are converging. So, because, you know, it's all about the customer experience, whether it's a
Okay.
product or a plant. So your computers, your psychology, your creativity, everything is converging, and so whichever field you choose, so it's more about this customer experience, and more girls with their creativity can you know, take up this science field.
Okay, okay. So, so right after your graduation, you went into corporate.
Yeah, so right after that, I went into my first company was Tata Power. So Tata
Okay.
Power, you know, that makes electricity. Most of the electricity in Mumbai comes from this Tata in Mumbai.
Yes, yes.
Uh, so it was a 1 year, you know, kind of a internship. They place you in their various plants, in the hydroelectric plant, the thermal power plant, and so straight away I went into the working only. Then I changed 3 4 jobs. Then I went into design engineering, and finally now into the technical sales part of it.
Okay, wow. Okay. So,
Yeah.
what are the other like job opportunities? Like, for example, you studied instrumentation engineering and you went into this field. There must have been other people
Yeah.
who other fields. So, what are the other fields that can be done after studying instrumentation engineering?
So instrumentation engineering is so if you want to remain technical, there are a lot of options. You can either join directly the industry, or if you don't want, you know, a plant kind of job, you can also do in the design. There are a lot of consultants companies, big companies. You can join them. uh, Otherwise you can go into the sales, the technical selling. They're like my company, they make products for these industries. So this is as far as the technical. Or you can be into the computer field, the control algorithms. So you can also go in the digital way, so in the programming way. And otherwise you can also club it up with the MBA or a finance course, and it gives you a good. So I have my friends who from the instrumentation finally they are into the finance fields, you know, most many of them
Okay.
they did the MBA, but still they are analyzing companies, they are making models. So what you learned in engineering, you know, it helps
Hmm.
you to do that. It acts as a kind of a base foundation for that. So
Yeah, I
whichever
mean, yeah.
you choose, yeah, it helps you, I think. Yeah, because the logic and the foundation which it lays, no, it is very strong.
Yeah, it's like pairing up what you studied in your engineering with an MBA, so you have the communication skills. So obviously, anybody that you try to sell it to, you'll have the sort of information that a technical person needs, and you'll have the communication skills to sell it as well.
Correct, correct. So you can sell it technically as well as, you know, with your the sense of that management communication skill.
Yes, yes, of course.
Yeah, right, right. Yeah.
So, what do you enjoy the most about your job?
uh right now I enjoy, I mean, I have a I lead a team of quite a few people. They're new engineers joining my team, and I like, you know, the best part is if I do something and they, you know, it inspires them, and to lead them, to motivate them. So that is most satisfying at this current stage of my career.
Okay, so just before I ask my last question, I would like to request if any of you participants have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. And after I finish asking my last question, ma'am will answer all of your questions. So,
Yeah, yeah.
is there any last piece of advice that you would like to give to us budding STEM women in STEM who want to pursue a career in science?
Yeah, so I would just say ki, you uh, go after it. I mean, you like science, you just go after it. No need to, you don't worry about, marks or things like that. Because in any subject, there are various topics. Some you may like, some you may not. And it's not about marks. It's about if you love a subject, if you like it, you go and pursue your career in that. So there's nothing stopping you. You don't get intimidated by, the I don't get marks and other things like that. So follow your instinct and just go after it and be confident that there are a lot of options in science. It is a basic degree right now. I mean, given the COVID situation, finally we are looking up to for science only to find some vaccination, some solution. So it has got, tremendous value, and just go after it, I would say.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. Is there anybody who would like to ask a question? We'll give 10 seconds to it. You can unmute yourself or you can type it out in the chat box. That's a very good thing that you said. For example, I am studying PCM and computer, but I still want to do something in biology, which is exactly where the marks don't play in. Like, although I couldn't choose biology because I wanted computer, I still want to have a career in biology.
Okay, so I think some of the courses like biotechnology and all, they take your PCMB. You'll have to find out.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so don't just go after it. If you like a subject, no, you will excel, because finally what you will be doing, you will be liking it. You'll be loving it. So don't think about other things. Just choose that.
Yes, yes, completely agreed. Thank you so much for joining us.
Ma'am,
It was great talking. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kritika, go ahead.
what advice would you give to people who are not yet sure what they want to do? Like they know their subjects. They have. I am in 12th, so I have taken
Yeah.
PCM and I have economics as my fifth subject. I know there are limited options because I haven't taken CS. But what
Okay.
advice would you give to people who don't know what they want to do? Like specifically, आगे क्या करना है?
Okay. So I would say that, a graduation, if you have taken science, a graduation or a engineering in science, I mean, you take up, because now that is a basic degree. And then you explore along with that, if you are, liking the economic side of it or the technical side of it, so then you can, in your post graduation, you can choose, because you're still open. If you're doing a science graduation, you're still open to choose any of the post graduations. So if you're not clear, I would say you go and choose one of your favorite science field, whether engineering or graduation or anything, and then see how it goes, because it keeps on changing. Many of us go through that. We are not clear, exactly what I want to do. But during this graduation, you will be exposed to various subjects, various things, and you will know okay, where your choice lies actually.
Thank you, ma'am.
So yeah, thanks. So there's a question here, Snigdha. So she's preparing for a JEE exams, which is very marks oriented, as IITs have extreme competition. So do you have any advice for such? So yeah, so I would say you give it your best shot. So you study the concept, very important role. So you go to your teachers or whoever in your family if they can help you. So you try to clear. Don't keep anything, under the thing like no, ye nahi aata, ye chhod do, ye chhod. ऐसे mat karo. So you take it up, solve your doubts, and get your concepts clear. Because no matter it's every time the questions are different. So if your concepts are clear, you can attempt. So just put in your best efforts, and definitely it's okay. It may be tough, but right. But many people are getting in. If not I, there are so many other good colleges. So don't worry. If you do that, other bits is there, and the other Mumbai colleges are also very good. So give all the exams. and you will definitely find a good college. Just give it, do your best. And remember, it's just 2 years, you getting in is tougher. Once you're in there, it's really good fun. Those 4 years of engineering are great fun. You're doing those machine, lathe, welding, various things. So if you like it, I mean, you'll really enjoy it.
Wow, that was very insightful. Thank you so much. It was great
Yeah.
having you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Himanshi. Bye bye. Yeah.